All right, so we'll pick back up here right where we left off. This is all kind of deeper level stuff that takes a little bit further understanding, but you can actually adjust the image independently, which I don't necessarily recommend, but you're more than welcome to try it. And then the source just tells you where it's coming from, where the actual image is hosted. And then you can add some border, you can add vertical space, horizontal space, and that's just empty space. And you can just actually enter numbers, I think, like 12. And I was wrong. So I would say 12px, and that doesn't even seem to be doing it. Anyways, um, we'll deal with that, cross that road when we get there, because it doesn't want to cooperate. So then on the right here, you've got the same information, the same setup, so you can preview. You've got your draft public, publish immediately, or publish at some point in the future. It automatically generated its own numbers to go in here because I didn't enter anything up here. So, you can name that page and then hit edit, and you can actually change the link of the page itself. Over here, then you've got your parent. You can set parents. I typically do no parents. That's just me though, because you can manipulate those things later on the menu itself. But then you also have these different templates. So you've got a default template. You've got a blog page, a contact page, a full width page, gallery page, login, portfolio, search, sitemap. Those are all templates that are built by Elegant Themes. So if you do the contact page, there's actually built into the page is your basic contact information, or an intake form. I'm sorry. So someone's name, phone number, email, blah, blah, blah. And same thing with gallery page. It's more set up specifically for a gallery of images and things, and a login page is to get people logged in, portfolio, search, sitemap, etc. So the best way to do it is just try them. But then the two things you'll have to deal with here is you've got a default template, which means on the right-hand side there's going to be a sidebar like this right here. Or you can flip it to the full width page, and then it'll actually eliminate this sidebar and give you more space for your content, the actual content that you want to put in there. And then these are things that you don't necessarily need right now, but I can show you how to deal with that later when you get there. And the rest of it you don't need. So I would hit publish in order to make it live, but I'm going to actually hit move to trash because you don't want this page. And then over here on the left, you've got your comment section. This gives you rights to kind of edit and deal with any comments that are made on that page or made on your website in general. You typically get a lot of spam, so I actually turn comments off usually, but for sales and stuff, it may be advantageous to keep comments on. And there are ways of dealing with the spam issue through some different plugins. So you've got this offers section. This is something very specific to this theme itself. So I would just try to add an offer and see what happens. It's probably very similar. Okay, so here's the offer, or here's the title, the button text, the link of where it goes, and yeah, some other things I don't really know about. But the way I would figure it out is add some stuff to it, play with it, and see what happens. Then you're going to go here into the appearance section. If I click on themes, this shows me all of the themes that are uploaded to your current website. You can always hit this add new button, and you can actually bring a new theme in if Style Shop doesn't really work for you. You can hit this customize button. It'll take you to this page here. It gives you certain rights and ways to actually edit things that are there. Here's the colors, some basic color selection that will allow you to go in and manipulate a few things like background color, link color, main font, headings color, etc. And then anything you don't see there, we do have the ability to change somewhere else. May have to be hard coded, but you can still change them. Fonts, it'll allow you to select what fonts you want based from a preset library. So it's not all the fonts there, but yeah, but you've got that. So header font versus a body font. Schemes, these are different schemes that they've developed, and really it looks like it just changes the color of that one bar itself. But if you do mess with that and then some of these around here, you can probably make it look pretty close to what you want it to. And our goal before we go in and hard code anything is to use all of the settings that this has available to us, so that we're going and changing the least amount of information. So of course, this is just giving me a live preview. I'm going to go back to the default. And then you have this navigation. Since I've created a menu, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, what menu goes where. So this is your primary menu on top, and then this one here is your secondary menu. You can turn them off, and I'll have only one menu if that's all you want, but the way this site is designed is this top one is like our home page, about us, our products page, and blah blah blah, and then down here would be more about categories of things that you're selling. But it's entirely up to you how you deal with that. And then on the static front page, right now it's listed your latest posts, which means new posts that you add. Right now it says hello world because that's a post that exists right now. And then you can also hit static page, and then we tell it what page we actually want to be our static page, and this is a static home page. This is what that looks like. So you lose some of the kind of flair that you saw on the actual template itself when you're looking at the preview. So if you liked the changes you do, you hit save and publish. I'm just going to hit cancel to get out of there. Now I go back to here, and it shows me all the themes. If I hit customize, it takes me to that same spot. I'm going to show you the widgets section real quick. Here we've got a sidebar, and as I showed you this stuff here on the right hand side, this is what your sidebar is. These are all different widgets that are kind of preloaded and put in there. If I don't want that, I just click it and drag it right out. And if I want something else, I can click it and drag it right in, and then it also gives me some control here over these categories that I would be adding in here. You can also go to WordPress.com, and you can find hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of different plugins and things that people have made that will augment your site. And then if they're a widget-based plugin, they would show up in here. You can just drag them in. You also have your footer area 1, 2, and 3. That means very at the bottom here, you would actually be adding some new functionality and hiding more stuff in there, basically, or not hiding it, showing it to people. This stuff actually updates dynamically, so if I pull it out, and once it's out, it's saved. I don't have to actually hit a save button. And then you've got all these different things here as well that you can bring into it. I'm going to show you the menu section. This is your menu navigation. Right now I've created one new menu and I call it top because there's kind of a top and a bottom, or a top and a middle, or something like that. And right now there's a sample page in there. This will show me a list of all of the pages, or actually the most recent, and if I hit view all, it shows me all pages that I've created. And say I wanted the home page, I check that check mark, I hit add to menu, it brings it right in here. I can just drag these things around and move them in the way that I want. I can add links in here, so if I wanted to do, for whatever reason, I wanted to add a link to Yahoo or some place outside of the website, the URL is the link of where it goes. The link text is the way that it appears. I hit add to menu, and now voila, I have this new link. If I wanted to add a dead link, meaning it was just kind of a category header, and I'm going to call that category header handbags. Well, I put it in the wrong spot. You just need to put a pound sign. Basically, a pound sign gives me a dead link so that nobody can click on it, but I use it as a macro, or as a header. So let's just say here's my handbags. I'm going to take Yahoo and put that underneath that, and I'm going to put home, and as well I'll put sample page directly underneath that. And actually I'll indent that one more. So the indent means they're sub items. So handbags, nobody can actually click on that, but it shows up in the header, or it shows up in the menu. See, now it says handbags, and if I float on it, I can hit Yahoo and I float on home. It's not a good idea to put that as the last menu item because it makes things wider than it's supposed to be. I would probably move it over, but it's just showing you kind of that drop down functionality and the way to build out that. And then right now this one is set, the theme location is set as the primary menu, which of course means this top upper menu here, and then this is the secondary menu. So I would have to hit save menu in order to make it live. That's when this went live. I'm going to actually delete or remove these different items here because I know you don't want those. And we'll just leave the sample page in there. Hit save menu. Now I come back here. It goes back. Now I only have the sample page. And then I can hit create a new menu, and then it'll allow me to reorganize. I have to give it a name. It will reorganize, and then this section down here will actually become organizable at that point. So we're going to jump here into this style shop theme options. Right now I threw a logo in here. If I hit upload image, and I can upload something, or I'm going to go to my media library and just show you, that's the one I want. Okay, I didn't want to do that. This is the one I want, and I go to the very bottom of the page. I get these options: thumbnail, medium, large, and full size. Since the image itself is smaller than all of those, I don't have those options right now. But if I hit use for logo, it takes that, it places it in here. In order to make that live, I hit save. So once that's saved, of course you're not going to be able to see anything change here because I didn't change the image. But now if I hit the reset button and then navigate to the bottom and hit save, it's going to remove the flag and actually put it, this is just the default. This will always show if you don't have a logo yourself. These are all of kind of the deeper functionalities of this particular theme. You've got a favicon, which is this little icon up here in the tab. So you can generate that graphic. You've got a main background image. Right now, your main background image, I believe, is these little circles and whatnot. So you could upload your own background image here, and then save that. Blog style post format. This is something that's disabled right now. Grab the first post image. This is something that's disabled right now. Show checkout button in navigation area. That's probably something you're going to want enabled, which it is. So the best way to do it is just manipulate some things. Check the buttons, hit save, go look at it, see what it does, and then move on. You've got the number of posts displayed on each category page, the number of posts displayed on each archive page, the number of posts displayed on the search pages, etc., etc. So then these are all kind of different things. Down here you can add custom CSS. That means your custom kind of formatting on the page. Then the home page, you got this display special offers, which I'm assuming that's tied to this little offers section here. But you got to put something in there to be able to see what it looks like. Display the products on the site. Right now this is enabled. Display new products, that's enabled. Display client logos, that's enabled. So those are all things you've got to have some content in there in order to really see what it looks like. Number of posts of the special offer slider. So that means this very first slider here that right now only says hello world. How many of those do you want? There's 6 right now. The number of products on sale shows 8. The number of recent posts products displayed on the home page is 3. Exclude categories. You don't need that for the time being. So this is actually giving us the first logo image, and I'm assuming that that's related to this display client logos section. Of course, it doesn't have to be client logos, can be something else. So logo URL, this is where you put the link of where that image is located, and then the alt is actually a description for that. So you've got all of those options, and then you go over this featured slider. Right now this is enabled. Duplicate featured articles. You can enable, disable a number of things that are going to show up there, and the category in which they are there. So right now I've got a handbags category. Typically I make a slider category, and when I add new posts over here, then I check it as that slider category. And you can also include pages in the slider as well, rather than just posts. So you've got this use products, use pages, automatic slider animation. Right now it's disabled. If I hit it, it will enable it, and they'll kind of rotate. Make sure you always hit the save button in order to save things, otherwise you lose all your stuff. These other things aren't as important, and, well, mostly because I don't use them that much, but it's good to click through it to see them. This gives you control over the way that your posts and your page look.